What is up, everybody? It's Sam, and we are back with another episode of Pessimistic at Best, the podcast. I have my amazing friend Magda on the pod. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I'm excited to have you on this podcast.
I'm actually so thrilled to be here.
You've been on my vision board for a while.
No way. Okay.
Yeah.
I have been I don't know. I feel like you've teased it a few times and I'm like, wait, I'll totally be on it. But didn't want to seem overly eager.
No, totally. We can't be overzealous.
I'm totally, and I'm so chill. So
it's so cool. Yeah. You're doing great.
Thanks. Do you do vision boards, or this is like a mental vision board?
I know, I literally write it down.
Whoa.
I think about all the people that I want to have on my podcast, and I'll kind of brainstorm the direction I want to take it in each year. And I'm not kidding. Since the cookie decorating party that I first met you at, I was like, she is so fucking funny. She has to be on my podcast.
Oh my gosh, that was such a fateful event for us.
Literally.
Wow.
It was the best.
And it was what, almost a year ago now?
Yeah.
Probably maybe less.
Probably just under, because I'm assuming that was right before Christmas.
I think so.
I believe Annie's doing it again this year, so hopefully you're there.
Yes.
I think she was planning it for when you're back from vacation.
She did. And that is actually so sweet of her. She was like, I want you to be back. And I was like, that is
you're
the most meaningful thing to me ever.
A crucial player.
Yeah. So I'll be there. Will you be there?
I'm so going to be there.
Yay.
I'm actually really excited because I know she wants to do more of the Midwestern cookie swap style this year.
I've heard.
Which obviously then the pressure is on to make a fun cookie.
I know. What would be your, not to spoil it for anybody who will be there, but what do you think you're going to make?
Well, so I was trying to think through a couple different things because I actually love cookies. I would say that's my go-to dessert. I'm a cookie monster.
Ooh, okay.
Through and through. But I was trying to think in the spirit of actual cookies you can decorate with frosting and stuff.
Right. Okay. So the whole premise is cookie swap. People bring cookies and then you decorate the ones that people bring. Okay.
She was kind of if you want to bring cookies that aren't really you shouldn't fucking put frosting on them, you could do that.
Okay.
And then you would just maybe give those ones out, but there should be enough that people can decorate.
Right.
So James's mom makes these cookies. They're really small. They're honestly probably some type of sugar cookie. We've never made them ourselves, but she calls them spritz. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't.
I hadn't until I met Becky Arbaje, but she makes them every year. They're really tiny, and I'm not kidding. I eat pounds of spritz every year.
Whoa. So what are they made of? What's the
They're
flavor?
they're definitely sugar cookie vanilla-esque based. They're really small, so they're all classic cookie cutout shapes, Christmas trees, snowmen, whatever. She's doing that kind of thing. And then so kind of similar to what Annie did last year, but they're really light. So you just take one
pop
little
them in.
No, you can't stop.
And are they okay? So the is it the Pillsbury cookies that they sell with the
shapes on them?
With the shapes on them, is it similar to that or
lighter?
Even
somehow
lighter.
More buttery and flaky or something. They're really good.
That does sound. I feel like I used to really not like sugar cookies, but I think I was having bad sugar cookies.
Okay, how do you feel about the ones with the shapes?
Love.
Okay,
love.
same.
Yeah. And I think a generic sugar cookie, a store-bought sugar cookie.
Right.
I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Usually they're hard. Or James is really obsessed with those. Oh my God. Something house. And they're those Loft House cookies. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
Actually, we have some, so I can show you after this.
Perfect.
They're those cookies. They taste fake as fuck. They're
wait, yes, I saw them on top of your microwave. Okay, I love those. Are actually so good.
I literally don't like those.
I can see they're fake. Yeah, you're not.
At least they don't taste
food.
like a cookie. It's not a cookie to me. That's something else.
It's like eating a pillow. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I know what you mean, but there's something so nostalgic about them. It's
fair.
Yeah, it's I'm eating childhood. Yeah. I'm eating at times Play-Doh.
Right. So true.
Yeah.
It's similar.
Yeah.
Flavor profile.
Right. I do like those though, I will say, for sugar cookies.
Okay, well, Mackenzie made this insane cookie that you'll have to try. Maybe we can get her to bring it to the cookie baking party, but it was gochujang or however you pronounce that.
Yeah.
Sugar cookies.
Whoa. So they had a kick? Or?
Yes. They were pretty spicy, but
gosh.
it made sense.
I have this fun, inside joke, if you will, but I'll explain it and you'll get it and you won't.
I can't wait to be on the inside.
Just with some college friends where like I jokingly bit into a donut and was like, oh, it's kind of spicy. And then was known as like the person that thought that donuts were spicy, but it was purely a joke. But also, like, given the way that I look, it's totally believable. It's like, wow, she can't.
You're like an Aryan princess, and then oh, it's spicy.
Oh God, no, but I'm Polish. Yeah, I'm like, it's a little spicy, and the way that like I'm like, chai is spicy.
Yeah, no. Totally.
That's good. That's good stuff.
I mean, you can get especially spicy chai.
It's true. I've had a ginger smoothie, and I'm like, it's the ginger is really. I'm like, it's hurting my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually love ginger in things. I've like become pretty accustomed to that. And like I've started putting it in lots of stuff at home. Turns out I heard it's really good for like your immune system.
Yes.
But now I'm kind of like, it just wakes me up in the morning.
What do you put it on that's waking you
like
up?
Smoothies or honestly, that's it. I think.
I was like waiting. I was like, you're like adding it to my coffee.
Yeah, no.
I have a little, put it on a banana. Yeah. Okay. You're like just like
put a couple shavings. Yeah.
That's all. I've never really gotten into some of those like health trend, like turmeric or like those
turmeric. I heard can really stain your counters, so be careful.
Oh really? Okay. I'll mine are kind of gray, so actually actually come eat your turmeric in my apartment.
Yeah, safe space.
Yeah. But like those like digestive shots or things like that.
And
I used to be kind of like a health fad hater because I'm like, come on, you guys.
No, totally.
But now I'm like,
everything in moderation.
Yeah. If you feel better and it's like your ritual and you feel like it's helping you and you feel healthy, like
who am I to say?
Who am I to say? Like actually I could take a lesson.
I will say, I think as I've gotten a little bit older, I've kind of realized like, I don't know if it's just like the years we grew up or like, I feel like we must have just, I ate so much processed foods growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my gut is fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know how many years of reversal. Like, I don't know that I don't know when I learned to start eating vegetables.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, actually, I remember I took this class called Ecofeminism senior year.
Yeah, that actually sounds really cool.
It was really cool.
Senior year of college?
Senior year of college, yes. It was part of my women, gender, and sexuality studies minor.
Totally. I got a certificate.
I got a certificate. I know what it's
too.
like. Yeah. Oh, yep. And it's one of those classes that you're like, yep, I went to a liberal arts school.
Oh, yeah.
Totally. But it was an awesome class. Like we just discoursed all the time.
Totally.
And we read books.
Those are some of my favorite classes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The most impressionable. Like I don't remember, I majored in psychology. Like don't remember a single psychology class.
Totally.
I remember every single women gender studies class.
Yeah.
But we read this book called The Sexual Politics of Meat.
Okay.
Which really like opened my eyes to obviously we like know about the environmental and maybe like physical health implications of meat, but then it really just broke down like the gender differences of
that's actually really fascinating.
Yeah, it was sort of like the thesis, if I can remember, was basically like the best way to fuck the patriarchy is by not eating meat because the patriarchy stands for meat.
Oh my God. Okay.
And I was like, that's kind of funny. I kind of like that. And not, I mean, it was like serious, but
yeah.
So then I kind of dabbled in vegetarianism and I'm never fully committed.
Totally.
But I kind of think that's when I learned how to eat vegetables.
No, yeah. I would say similarly. I always hated vegetables growing up. I was kind of like, oh, boring. If I could eat something else,
I would probably opt for that.
I used to be a picky eater.
I want to know about that evolution.
I don't really know like how I was such a picky eater. I think vegetables were the start. I hated broccoli. Hated it.
Okay. Can I say kind of cliche though?
I know. Like,
okay.
Everyone's doing it.
With much love. Yeah. I'm like, okay, but everybody hated broccoli.
Yeah. And like, I think that's where it started. And then I was kind of like, why would you ever want a vegetable when there are so many other things? Cheetos, Pop-Tarts. Yeah.
Famously like in the same category. Yeah. It's like, why choose broccoli when you can have Cheeto?
And they're shaped similarly.
Yeah. And no, commonly it's like when I make a recipe and it's like broccoli cheddar soup. I'm like, no, it could just be Cheeto cheddar soup. But actually, that actually sounds doable.
Yeah.
I need to
there are
chopped broccoli
kind of
salad.
Cheese-based.
Yeah.
Yeah. A perfect replacement, really.
A substitute. Which I have a note, but I want to hear this and then I'll say my thing.
Well, and I don't know when I I like changed my ways. I think I kind of got to high school and I was like, being picky is lame and I want to try more things.
I love that as a whole personality. You're like, wait, I hate this.
And it was very limiting. I remember being at like friends' parents' houses and like they would make me dinner and I wouldn't eat the stuff and I'm like, this is fucking embarrassing, so we have to just eat it.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I need to start trying new things. And I think it was like, I started trying things like avocado or just, you know, we're not going crazy, but
yeah. Holy cow.
But like my parents, I don't think the whole entire time I grew up, there was no avocado bought for the home.
That's so true. That's such a, I feel like avocado is distinctly I wouldn't say Gen Z food, but it kind of is. Like, I don't know when I had my first avocado, but I can't say that it was before sometime in high school.
Right? Like, what was up with that? We were not eating avocado.
No.
And now millennials are like, oh, your avocado toast instead of your fucking house or whatever.
Right.
That's
yeah.
like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm spending my money on. Yeah.
So, and then I will say, when I started dating James, his family ate a lot of sushi, which I also had not previously been exposed to.
And that one's, to be fair, that one is not controversial.
It's divisive.
Divisive, yes. Yeah.
Not everyone loves it.
Correct.
I also would say I lean toward the safe sushi / sometimes like tempura, like, you know, that's
little,
like
just
fucking
fried
fish.
Yeah.
So it's extremely safe. It's not actually raw, but I can get down with like a salmon or an imitation crab.
Oh, yep. So when I studied abroad in Chile, I went to go get sushi with my host family. They had chicken sushi, cooked chicken sushi.
Oh my God.
And I was like, this is the most Chilean thing, I feel like.
Yeah. That kind of seems like maybe it's no longer sushi. It's just like chicken on a roll.
Yeah. And it wasn't bad, but it's like, well, at that point, like, just go get fried chicken or go get, you know, if you're not going to be eating the raw fish of it all.
Right. It's
what
kind
are we
of the
doing?
whole point.
Yeah. So that really was eye-opening.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Was that like massive? Like, how big were those bites?
No, they were still like normal sushi. It was just like,
with like a really
little
small piece of
strips
chicken.
Yeah, just like a small piece of chicken instead of the little cube of fish. Yeah. So that was a memorable experience.
Absolutely.
Clearly one of the few meals I remember from that time.
Yeah. Well, we have to have those.
Yeah.
I remember when I like first started exploring food too, I was like, I just want to try everything. So, and now I would say I'm really not a picky eater. I am still one of those people where if I find something on the menu that I like, I get it every time.
Yeah. I think I used to be I'm like, I have to try something new every time. Life is short. Try something new.
Yeah.
But in adulthood, when I'm like, I am spending
exactly
here in Chicago, maybe $30 on this meal, on this casual meal, maybe more. I want to know what I'm getting and I want to have a good time. And it's tough to risk it and then be like, shoot, I should have gotten
100%.
my tried and true.
Do you like look at the menu before you go to the restaurant? Are you one of those?
I do. And I wish I wasn't because I like love being chill and spontaneous.
Yeah.
But I love to know.
Yeah. And it's like, what's the point in fucking around with like your meal?
Yeah.
No point.
No. We only get maybe 2 or 3 a day. You know, like it's like, that's when you think about it that way, it's not a lot.
Yeah. That really puts things into perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you eat breakfast?
I do.
Okay.
I usually eat like a little, if I go in the office, I'll eat like a little yogurt. And then if I'm at home, I'll probably also eat a little bit of yogurt. With like a banana. Yeah.
Yogurt is classic because you get like on the go yogurt. Like you could just grab one and leave the house.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice.
Yeah. I don't like to spend a lot of time on it. I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
But I definitely oftentimes just wake up hungry and I'm like, I'm ready to go.
Honestly, same.
Yeah.
It's hard because I think working from home has actually changed my eating schedule quite a bit.
Ooh, okay.
Where I used to like wake up in the morning and I would be hungry. Plus I knew that I had my long commute or whatever. So I'd eat a little something before I left the house.
Right.
Which was pretty early, probably like 7 or something. And then I'd be hungry for lunch by like 10:30, 11.
Yeah. Like an elementary school kid lunch. Yeah.
And then, you know, you have to like, all of a sudden you're starving for a snack at like 3.
Yep.
And you hit this weird wall.
Yeah. I know it.
Every time.
Yeah.
And then you like come home and you're starving by the time you get home. And then it's like impossible to cook yourself a meal while you're starving. So you have to have a snack. It's so hard.
Yeah.
But now I wake up and I feel like I've actually gotten into the awful habit of I get right on my computer. Like I wake up at the time of my first meeting starting, which I need to break. It's really bad.
That is hard.
And that's like 8:39. So then I don't actually eat breakfast until like 10:30. And so now it's all been pushed like way back.
Yeah. We had to start late, you guys.
Literally.
Yeah. You're telling your little stomach. Like, sorry.
We're on a different schedule. But it's also because I have immediate access to my fridge. It's like I don't get as hungry or something. Like I know that it's there.
Yeah. So you're not as like thinking about it.
Yeah.
I get that. I feel like, and some days I'll like just go and like start work and it's like 11 and you're like, oh, well, I might as well have like a little weird brunch thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to like get up right before the meeting, and I still kind of do. Like when I don't have to go in the office, I'll definitely just like sleep in till when I need it.
I wish I didn't do that.
I know, but
it's hard habit to break.
I know. I'm really envious of people who can thrive off of like 7.5 hours. Like I have friends where it's like that's what they need and that's what is good for them and can maintain that. And I'm just a 9-hour.
Yeah, I love sleeping.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's so good, and it's tough when it's just like I cannot be going to bed at 9 or 10.
Yeah.
To then wake up at 7. So then,
I know.
Yeah.
Me neither. That's way too early. What time do you like go to sleep?
I think so. I was like a little bit unemployed last year for 6 months, and I kind of found my natural rhythm, and I found it back again in times when I don't have like, to wake up early or like do a lot of things on the weeknights, but usually like 11, or like kind of 11:30.
Yeah.
Wake up 8:30. That's sort of been
That's pretty similar
9-hour cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's interesting too, because I would love to be a morning person, but I also like, one, I think I do like some self-sabotaging at night, but two, kind of like, I don't actually think I would do anything productive in the morning. I think I would just have some time to myself. So nighttime kind of seems like my only time to like actually get shit done.
Yeah.
I work on my podcast. Sometimes it's more for pleasure. I'll scroll on my phone, watch TV, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's like, I don't know. If I woke up in the morning, I'm kind of like, would I go for a walk? Like, who the hell knows?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I have no idea. It's like so undiscovered.
Literally.
I think I like the days when I've like left, every time I like wake up and I like go on a walk first thing, I'm like, this is amazing.
No, like
I should do this
changing.
every day. Yeah. I just can't. For me, the hardest part is like that half an hour right after your alarm goes off, or even right after you wake up, if you do it the natural way. But it's that 30 minutes where it's like I just can't get out of bed immediately.
Same.
And I'm unfortunately on my phone.
Yeah.
Doing nothing. Maybe like playing a game. Maybe like we're doing like connections that day, or like
the Wordle. Yeah.
Maybe like responding to some texts. But I really don't know how my life would be changed if I just like, got out of bed.
I know.
But it's scary. It's
no,
like,
it is. It's intimidating.
Like, what do I do? And I'm just like immediately living.
Yeah.
Like I can't. That's scary.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, I need some
We're
time.
gonna dive in head first.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I need to wade in. I need to wade in.
I'm just trying to dip the toe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I'm guilty of that too. And I also, Evan actually inspired me. I haven't actually tried it. However, it's, still inspiring.
Yeah. We have to leave something like like a pipe dream. Yeah. It's still, I'm always inspired by it.
I think about it constantly.
Yeah. Oh,
he like leaves his phone in a completely separate room. But it's also still his alarm. So he has to get out of bed physically in the morning to turn it off.
I like love to hate to hear that. I hate to love to hear that. I don't know what no, it's like I hear that and I'm like, I've heard that. I've seen.
No, right. Everybody says.
Yeah, everybody says. And I've heard that. And I've seen the little thing where you put your phone on you do that little alarm clock that's like on wheels and it like bounces around your house and you have to go up and grab it. Yeah. It actually feels like doing the polar plunge.
No,
it's
totally.
like you're immediately like.
It's kind of like, why would you ever do that to yourself?
The world. Yeah. I've also seen those like lock boxes that they have for your phone where it's like, you can't access this for 5 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that could be so good for me. And yet
totally.
I can barely put my phone in the other room and walk away.
No, same. Every time I don't have it, I literally get on my Apple Watch and make it make a noise. I'm like, where'd it go?
Yeah. Yeah. It has us in such a chokehold.
Well, and it's also honestly like depressing to me that I can't just like get myself to set my phone on for 5 hours. Like what? I have no self-control, but I literally don't.
I don't. Yeah, I know. No, it's true. A lot of thought there.
Like you have to trick yourself into not using it.
Yeah.
That's not sustainable.
No, we can't be doing that.
Yeah.
And I've also like tricked myself into being like, well, I'm using my phone for good purposes. It's like I read this one article this one time.
Totally.
Couldn't tell you the source, couldn't tell you anything about the article, but it was like people might be actually reaping benefits from using their phone if they're using it for social purposes, like having a group chat or even like listening to podcasts, because that's like, I wouldn't say necessarily like productive is the word that they're looking for, but maybe like connective, where it's like with group chats, it's like you're connecting with people.
Yeah.
You know, podcasts, you're learning, you're engaging, you're consuming.
Totally.
And I'm like, yes, that's me. Like I'm always in the group chats.
And I've
like,
always said that.
And I've always said that. And yeah, every time I'm on my phone, I'm like, this is good for me.
Yeah.
And it can't be always.
No. And then like I'll do that. I'll say that after like, oh yeah, I've been on TikTok for 4 hours. No, this is good for me.
Yeah. We're like actually, but it is hard, especially like, I don't know, as somebody who lives alone too. And I don't know if you're, and I'm like, well, maybe it's no different if you like live with somebody, but I'm just like, as an extrovert, I'm like, so like desperate for that connection when I'm like by myself. And I'm like, this is how I'm connected to the world, because as soon as I turn her off and put her in the other room, it's like, it's just
literally.
Me. I'm like, that's scary. Yeah.
Well, I will say, I think my problem is I live with an introvert.
Oh, okay.
And so he would like love to not talk to me when we're at home.
Nice. You're like, what did I get you for?
And that's the whole point.
Right. Yeah.
So, which is, you know, we struggle with that. It's actually really funny because that's like one of our main, like, he's like, I just need some time by myself. And I'm like, I am so lonely and bored.
Yeah. Oh, wait. So what I'm hearing is I should swap with James. I should move
literally.
In. Yeah. Okay. That'd be so crazy. We would not get any work done.
No, never. Which actually sounds awesome.
It sounds really fun.
How do you work from home? Like, or
3
are you
days
always
a week.
in? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I want to work from home every day.
See, me too. And I think it's funny that you say that. I was just talking to another friend about this, who's also very extroverted, but I think he gets a lot of his like social from work, and he like really is missing the office. And like for me, I love working from home. I love it. But I feel like I try to like because it has allowed me to have a more like fulfilled social life outside of work.
Yes.
And like I don't have to like commute home in order to go meet, you know, that like hour of time is like I can just get on the bus and go wherever I need to go to meet up with my friends.
Yes. I thought about that a lot because in my, you know, the last couple of years of like you know, existential crisis with my career and whatnot, and you're in your young 20s, I was thinking that, you know, the job had to fulfill everything. It had to be like, this is who I am. And also like, these are my friends. Because I saw friends who like really had, you know, besties at their work.
Same.
And in my first job, I met some awesome people who I think had the pandemic not happened, would have been like a close knit group of friends. But in starting this new job, I'm like, oh, I don't need to find friends at work. Like, in fact, it's probably better and more sustainable when it's like I maybe have like a shared activity or connection. And not to say like I'm like, it would be so awesome to like have close friends at work, for sure. But it's also
do it for
like
40 hours a week.
Yeah, it's like you kind of, that's natural proximity.
Yeah.
But like now that I have more opportunity to have a more flexible schedule, it's like, yeah, we can have friendships outside of that.
Well, and like I think also for me, this is actually the first job I've had where I work with people my own age. Like my previous job, almost everyone I worked with was like, you know, probably a good 5-10 years older than me, which I feel like also makes it like a little harder to like form those friendships. So maybe I've just also never really had that, but I don't know. I fucking love working from home.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It is. And I wish it's tough now in this job because I work hybrid ever since January. And I thought, well, the 1 week that I was sick, I was like, whoa, I'm so glad I get to work from home.
Yeah.
You know, took my one sick day, but then like was working the rest. And the flexibility certainly is nice. And like 2 days a week is, I think if I had 3, I'd be like quitting immediately.
Yeah.
Like that's full time in office,
No,
basically.
literally.
But part of me is like not sure that if I immediately started working from home, if I would miss some of the unseen benefits from working hybrid that I don't know exist. Like my boss works in person, like the few coworkers that are on my team that are based in this office.
For sure.
And it's nice to see them, but I don't know that I like leave the office being like, today was so great because I saw this coworker.
Yeah.
And some days, yes, I was like, thank God they were there or else this day wouldn't have been like it was. But it's hard to say if that would be like an ultimate game changer of
well, and I will say I feel like the part that's hard is I do feel like there's no like water cooler talk, you know what I mean? Like when you work remotely, like there's no opportunity to just be like, hey, how are you doing? Or you can, but then it feels forced because like most of the time you jump on the Zoom or whatever and like you're just going to dive right in. So I feel like that is the piece that's definitely missing. I think for me also like the hardest part is that I don't have everyone I manage, like my team all works together in an office and I'm not there.
Okay.
So that's hard. That like presents challenges for sure. But I think like ultimately I'm also one of those people where like I much prefer working solo. I've never been like much of a teamwork person. I don't like to like share tasks. I like to be responsible for my own work. Yeah. So I think in that sense, working from home is nice. I just ultimately, I did not miss that commute at all.
No, it really is like, it's tough because part of me wishes I could use the time that I didn't have to commute in a better way. And I think I do in the evenings. Like I think because it's like, okay, we're turning it off at like 4:35. But I think in the mornings, it's like, okay, I'm just sleeping. We're like doing that scrolling thing. So, but I think, you know, it's like we can't be perfect at everything. We always have to be growing, being inspired, you know, thinking next year is going to be the year that I'm going to put my phone in another room. Literally. With the alarm.
Yeah. And we do aspire to that. When he told me he did that, I was like, of course you do that.
Yeah.
That must be nice for you.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, okay.
No, but it's nice. I think for me, my next move is like I want to get one of those and I'm gonna maybe try and buy one on Black Friday. One of those like it like does a sunrise in your room.
Yes. Wait.
Like to reset your circadian rhythm. I'm like, I would pay a lot of money for that.
I've also been interested in getting some of those like it's the alarm clock, right? That like does that. It sounds
I'm getting so many Instagram ads for it right now.
And what I love about it is it sounds so based on science. Based in science. You know, you're like
who could ever disagree with that?
Right. You're like, oh, this is what my body needs.
Yeah. Well, I was at like a bachelorette party recently and I just must not be getting enough sun. I was like a couple days in. Obviously, we were doing lots of drinking. I like took all my makeup off for like the third day in a row. And I looked at myself in the mirror. Granted, a lot of the girls I was with also like get spray tans and things that probably don't make them look like half dead, but I was like looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, I need to go outside. I had huge circles under my eyes and I was so pale. And I feel like I'm starting to like every time I go outside, like it's kind of like what you said, like James and I will go for a walk and I'm like, wow, I love it out here.
Yeah, you're like, it's amazing. Yeah. Like, why is nobody talking about this? Yeah.
And I'm like, that's probably not good. Yeah. I should go outside more. Yeah. So I need to like schedule in that time. I will say that's also a thing about remote work. Sometimes it'll be like all of a sudden 2 days go by and I'm like, wow, I haven't gone outside.
Left. I'm such a outdoor lover, like in the way where it's like I'll get stressed if I like can't go outside on a certain work day.
I think that's natural.
Yeah. Or it's like I like feel so somebody taught me this word recently and I love it. FOMO. Have you heard it? No. It's like FOMO, but it's fear of not being outside.
Okay.
And
totally.
I think that I really feel that in the summer and particularly like the last couple of weeks in September when it's like, you know, that it's all coming to an end.
Totally.
And it even happened early or like, today it didn't happen because I had a lot of meetings, but on Monday when it was like 60 degrees and sunny, I'm like, who knows? Like this could be the last one for 8 weeks. I'm like, I have to be outside. I'm like, I don't care. I'll do more work. I'll work when it rains. I'll work when it's freezing outside. But today I need to be in the sun. But I'm so like dramatic about it. And it's like, okay, like there will be more sunny days. Yeah.
Do you get like seasonal depression?
I don't know, but I definitely am affected by the weather. Yeah. Like like seasonal depression sounds, not that I'm not willing to like claim it and admit, but it also sounds like
you haven't been diagnosed.
Right. I haven't been diagnosed. Like it sounds more dramatic. Like I don't want to claim that if it's not true.
Yeah.
But I definitely love to, I don't just like be so affected by the weather. Like if it's gloomy, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can't be productive. Like I'm not happy. And like nothing has changed, you know, and I got great sleep.
Turns out it's a terrible day.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, it's sad. Like maybe that is seasonal depression. And then the sun comes out and I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, I love all my friends.
Best
like
day
I
ever.
feel good.
Yeah.
I look good.
The world is peaceful.
The world is peaceful. Yeah. Everything's great.
Yeah. I definitely feel similarly. However, I actually kind of look forward to, it's so much easier for me to work if it's gray. Like I'm like so down, like a rainy day, I'm so productive. I'm like, I'm at my computer doing my thing.
Yeah. There's nothing else to do.
No, literally.
We're not going outside.
So, but I do feel like winter, especially like in the Midwest, it does drag on.
Yeah.
It's long.
That's the worst part I think about Chicago winters is the gloominess. Like I don't care how cold it is because like you just go out, you wear a big coat.
Yeah.
You wear a big coat.
You make it work.
You get
Put
your
the hat
Uggs,
on.
whatever. Yeah. Mittens. But it's the gloomy that's really debilitating.
Well, and I've actually been surprised how like we don't actually get as much snow as I was expecting here.
No, it's really sad. I feel like that's the whole point of winter. It's like, why be cold if you're not going to be beautiful in that way?
Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
It does feel kind of like we're missing something.
No.
Yeah.
And it like, I feel like I have such fond memories of like sledding and like doing the outdoor activities. Yeah. But there's like 2 rinks in the city.
Yeah. So
there's
true.
Not a lot.
There really isn't.
But are you like a big ice skater growing up in?
I used to ice skate. However, the last time that I like really went ice skating was New Year's Eve, and I was still living in Milwaukee at the time, so this was actually a really long time ago. I was with my parents, and my mom, who is notoriously really clumsy. She like some kid took her out like behind like her knees.
No.
And she went down really hard and like completely broke her wrist. We spent like New Year's Eve in the hospital. It was so crazy.
Oh my gosh. That's like, I'm so risk averse at times where I'm like, just hearing something like that, I'm like, I don't ever want to do it. Like, I love ice skating, but like not that much.
I know. I'm the same. Like, to me, anything physical like that, I'm so unwilling to have that be like how I hurt myself. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've said this recently. Famously, I'm like known for not liking skiing and
kind of same.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wait. I can't believe we haven't talked about this before. But someone recently was like, "Wait, that's so surprising. Like you're so like physically active."
That
and
actually
I'm like,
does really surprise me.
Yeah. It's kind of a new thing. This whole like physical active part of my. That's like in the last couple of years, and
that's great.
Yeah. No, it's been fun. You know, what can I say? It's been good. We're doing it. And been loving like trying new things, like the whole like biker girl thing is like that's new over the last couple of years.
That's really cool actually, because biking also terrifies me, especially in the city.
Yeah, as like it probably should.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, knock on wood here live on the podcast. Haven't had too many close encounters, but I also play it very safe. Like I'm not like trying to like run red lights. Like
fair.
You know, I'll like stop if I need to. Like I'm not trying to teach cars a lesson.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to.
They don't like that.
Yeah. They do not like that. Yeah. Mostly I'll just be like passive aggressive. Like we'll be at a stop sign or like something will happen where a car like didn't see me, and then they'll be like, go, 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 go. And then I'm like, no. You go. And I like totally like refuse to make eye contact. And I'm like, just fucking go. Like I'm already stopped, you know? Sorry,
which it is so much more work. No, swear friendly podcast. I literally have to mark every episode as explicit.
That's so funny. Okay.
But they're some of my favorite words.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine. But you hate skiing.
But I hate skiing. Yeah. I was in my middle school skiing club, which was just like,
okay, same.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Whoa. Wait, we have the same childhood. Was it just like on a man-made like?
Yeah, I mean, so it kind of depended on the season. You would always when we started, it was Wednesdays, and we would go. And early in the season, it was always fake snow. And like the hills in Wisconsin, they're hills. You know, it's not like a mountain,
right? It's not. Yeah, it's not a slope.
Yeah. But they would like definitely make a lot of snow really, honestly, quite boring. They weren't very crazy, but it was like Tyrol. There were a couple, Cascade,
Okay.
and we would like go to a couple different ones. And yeah, I don't know. I like did it back then, but I can't seem to pick it back up.
Same. So I have a pretty similar trajectory where I did it for like 1 year. Feel like I think I tried snowboarding, hurt my wrist a little bit, but like still was like excited to be there and still like trying to do the bunny hill. Maybe graduated to like a blue, green, black, whatever. I think accidentally went on a black one time, ran somebody over. Like
I like pizza all the way down a black one time, like all the way down. Yeah,
I love the pizza.
Yeah, safe.
It's safe. Yeah, it's comfortable. And so I did that. Didn't revisit it. And then a friend who grew up skiing, whose dad lives in Park City, Utah, invited me in college, and I was like, yes, like I will go. Like, and he was like really confident in me. He was like, it's like riding a bike, you know? And I was like, yes, totally. Like, I believe you. I'm so excited. And even more so, I was like, it's for free, you know, or like I have to pay for like rental or whatever.
Is but really like, nice.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I don't really care to spend hundreds of dollars on this activity.
And skiing can be expensive, like extremely.
Totally. I'm like, okay, good. I don't need to pick it up. But I went, and so his dad's kind of like a ski instructor there for kids too. And I think they both were like, perfect. Like, Magda, just come along. Like, you'll do a couple of small hills. I think they were like so shocked to find out that I was so incompetent.
Yeah.
And I was, my friend, we think he has like undiagnosed Raynaud's, like he like can't like is such poor, purple, like such poor circulation. Had the little like heat pads in his gloves. Meanwhile, like I'm sweating through my like I'm like hot, like I have a death grip on the like poles, and like my feet are just so hot. And I was like
feeling,
yeah, every muscle was tense. Like I was so tense, and I was just so scared to let go. And I think that's just a metaphor for everything else in my life, but we don't have to get there. But I just truly was not. Eventually I was like, please, you guys, like go with your friends, like go to the higher thing. Like I'll just après ski, whatever, early.
Exactly.
And then I think he made me go onto one of like the blue or green, like the next level up. And like, it was so scary. Part of me was like, I'm going to just go on my butt.
Yeah.
But like, it was clear that I just like couldn't do that the whole time. So I kind of had to like let it go, and like, maybe had spurts of fun, but then it was like clearly like immediately overshadowed by fear. Yeah. So I kind of made a vow to never go again.
No, 100%. Well, if it makes you feel any better, because my mom was notoriously bad at everything, we actually like normally don't bring her to stuff like that because she like breaks.
Oh my gosh.
She breaks all
the bones.
She's a
great artist. She's a great artist.
Extremely talented woman.
Extremely talented.
With a paintbrush.
Yeah.
Specifically. She went skiing, and like when she was much younger, way before me, broke her leg. Her like she like literally was going down the hill, fell, and then her like bind didn't release. So
so it was like and then it gets like contorted.
So bad stuff happened, and then she had her broken leg, and then she was obviously in like a cast and doing crutches and whatever. Fell down the stairs. Literally like broke her other leg.
Oh no.
Or like her foot or something crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Like it's just like
that.
Yeah. What are the odds?
Like
pretty small.
Oh, okay.
So it's best to like keep her at the house.
Yeah. Like, where's your mom?
She's at the house.
She's a safety risk. She's at the house. We have to keep her.
Yeah. So, and I wouldn't say that I'm like particularly clumsy. However, I am risk adverse.
Yes.
And I also just like, I'm not a competitive person, and I'm not a particularly outdoorsy person.
Okay.
I'd ride somewhere in between. I like camping, hiking, running even. But a little faster pace. But I definitely am like not, I don't know. I don't like do a ton of exploring. I'm not a winter sport girl. I'm really not. Sledding is safe, but
those ones are, yes. Oh, sledding is fun. I think I decided that like anything water, which includes snow, because we know it's famously made out of water. Anything water related is immediately scary. Like,
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, and I think I'm just like, it's a natural fear. It's you know. It's an innate fear.
So true. It's ingrained in us.
It's ingrained, as it should be, everybody. But I'm like, it's like, I respect it. I understand how much damage it can do.
Yeah.
So I don't need to, it's I love this phrase and I want to start using it more. It's none of my business.
No, literally.
It's literally none of my business to be in there.
No.
On the slopes.
I have no place
in
there.
the ocean. I have no, it's like, was I born with gills? Then what do I,
so
what,
true.
like, was I born with a body full of fur? Then like, what do I need to be doing on the top of a slope?
And that makes so much sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love that humanity. It's like, never stop exploring, but also like,
so true. Well, I don't know what it is. I don't know if you feel this way. It could be different from like St. Louis, but the Madison to like Colorado pipeline, incredibly strong.
Oh, for some reason, and so I hear.
Yeah.
Like I don't
know what's up with that. But so I have a lot of friends who are like very into like the ski snowboard scene.
Yes.
And I'm kind of like, I will sit at the fire and wait for you guys to get back.
Yeah.
I think that's where I belong.
Yeah. My younger sister went to CU Boulder. So I know she got that itch.
Yep.
She got it. And I went and I was like, I'll do the hiking. Like I do love hiking.
Same.
I do love to be outdoors and adventurous to a point.
Yeah.
So it's like I love to be outside, but not when it's like posing in a minute.
Okay, totally.
So love to visit in the summer, but have no
Well, and they ski out there like October to April. It's crazy.
Yeah, and they like go after work. Like it's such a culture, and I think it's great. I'm like, it's really the people who love it, like the ski bums. I'm like, that's awesome that you like find that and you get the thrill.
So true.
And you don't. Yeah, for me, I feel like the one time I went skiing, in recent history, I sat on the ski lift. Oh, and first of all, nobody's talking about how scary the ski lift is. It's so scary. It's like I have to be in the right position. It's just gonna scoop me up. What if my butt misses? I don't know. And then if you get off, I know. I'm like, this is the scariest part. Of skiing.
During my middle school field trips, there was actually a girl. She's like literally fine now, but she fell off. She like broke her fucking back.
And like, there's just countless stories of people like And
can you imagine seeing that? I wasn't on the lift at the time, but like, that is so scary.
No, it's devastating. And yeah, this guy was like, oh, it's my first time back on the slopes. And I was like, oh, what happened? He's like, broke my ankle. And I was like, how long have you been off? And he's like, I don't know, 6 months, a year or whatever. And I'm like, I'm just
I think
so
that'd be
unwilling.
It for me.
That would be it. Yeah.
I think I'd really hang up the skis there.
Yeah. And they were already rented to begin with. So it's like, they weren't mine.
So true. I know. Well, and that's like James, like, skateboards, and he's into some of that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
4 wheels. And he like tried to teach me like this one summer a couple times. I got on the board maybe like 3 times. There's no way in hell. I was like, I just don't have whatever that is. Balance, coordination,
all of it.
Skill.
Also like that where you're like sideways, it so feels unnatural where it's like you have to just lead with your
and I felt the same
shoulder.
way about snowboarding.
Yep. I think it's similar.
There's no way.
But it seems like extra, like why are they the coolest sports? Like why? Like,
no, like so cool.
Like, yeah, it's like really, really cool to see somebody skateboarding, longboarding,
surfing.
Yeah. It's like, but it's so feels difficult. Somebody
also in the water, so scary.
Right. So it's like we won't be going there.
Yeah.
Somebody that I really talking about being inspired by. I think when I hit some sort of like, okay, not quarter, but like third life, a third of your life crisis. What would that be called? Is JVN, because I feel like he's like done gymnastics and like ice skating and like taking lessons and really I'm like, I don't know. I think about what would put me out of my comfort zone, because I think
You're supposed to do something that scares you every day.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Do one thing a day that scares you. Show up to work. That's my thing.
And it is really scary.
Yeah. But
get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, right.
Really
exactly. Yeah. So scary. But I'm like, oh, I already do improv. Like for a lot of people, that's like baseline, like nerve wracking.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, if I already do that, like what's next?
Yeah, how are we going to push the envelope?
Right. I truly think it's like learning how to do a hand. I never could do a cartwheel growing up.
Okay, same.
So I think it's like, wait, really? Oh my God. Wait, why haven't we connected before? Yeah, just something.
No, it actually is an insecurity of mine.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because I used to practice for hours in the backyard.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really hard.
But I think I never trusted myself enough to like actually put my full weight above my head.
Same. Yeah. I think that would be a really like therapeutic practice for me. Like I think that would really unlock something for me.
No, same.
I love like one of my things that like I'm only realizing in the last like year that is not normal is that I love to do like flips and handstands in pools. I think it's because I can achieve that.
Yeah.
Like I can do a handstand in a pool because it's like I don't have that.
Yeah.
I don't have gravity.
I should just start there maybe.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's so like, I could actually spend like hours. Like this summer I went to like Lake Michigan and like was doing flips and like handstands and like my wrists started hurting.
No way.
But it's just like so fun. I'm like, I don't know what inner child is being released. But I'm like, at what age will this get like concerning where they're like, there's our friend Magda. Yeah. She's like, you know, everyone else is just kind of relaxing by the pool.
Her
and I'm
fifth
still like,
handstand of the day. Yeah.
And like, I will do a show. Like I'll be like, and people are like, oh, that's so funny. And I'm like, and I'm having such a good time.
I will say, I really relate to that because as much as I like, am also probably like pretty water adverse.
Yeah.
I love splashing around in a pool.
Yeah.
There is nothing better.
And I can't like, I would love a pool. Like, and I know that everyone's like, I want a pool. And I'm like, no, like I would be in that pool. Like
exactly.
I go to the hotel and I'm using the pool. Like we go to the beach, we're swimming in the water. I just can't understand. I'm like water averse, but like I'll be in it.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Just like not sporting, just kind of hanging out. It's so fun. I used to, when I was a kid and we would go to a hotel, pretty much what you just said. Like my dad, I always brought swimsuits. There was no question. I'm searching for the pool the second that I get there. It was like the best part. Same with like, you had to drag me out of the water if we were like at the beach or it was the best.
Yeah, I'm always bringing a swimsuit. Like no matter the trip, even if it's like winter and you're going somewhere cold, it's like just bring it. There might be a sauna. There might be a bathtub or a hot tub. Yeah. I
know, but I do. Maybe that is a safe place for me to like practice a cartwheel or a handstand.
Yeah.
I wasn't really ever doing that.
Oh my gosh,
I was just like jumping in.
It's so fun. I think in another life I would be, well, two things. A synchronized swimmer because of that. I feel
totally.
Really like, or in a similar vein, like kind of a hip hop dancer.
Oh my God, I love
like
that.
Yeah. So I think there's something about the choreography, the coordination,
totally,
the movement. Yeah.
Would you say you're like a good dancer? I don't know if I've seen you dance really.
Oh, I would freestyle. I never learned choreography growing up.
Yeah, same.
It really challenges me to use my brain in that. Like I think it's like a different language. You know, you're like learning. I think like moves are like words.
The way you have to memorize that is like
it's so difficult. So when I've done it in adulthood, I'm always like, wow, this is really challenging. But I love to dance in the club with my friends.
Oh my God, same.
And I will break it down. Like I don't really understand like how people like go out to bars and like places that dance and just stand. I'm like, I have to be center of the dance floor, like on my
same.
I don't know.
And I will say, I feel like honestly, maybe that's something we got to start bringing back more this winter. I feel like I haven't actually gone out dancing in a while.
We'll go after we go to the pool, after we go to the indoor pool
we'll do a
and
quick
practice
swim.
No, I'm a big, and sometimes it was something that I kind of came to terms with because I think I was like, oh, like, do I like need to go out anymore? Like college is over. Like we don't need to like go out. And I'm like, no,
it's like a different type.
Yeah.
There's a purpose to it.
Yes. And always and forever, it'll just be about the dancing.
Yeah.
Like truly the best nights out are, when
like there aren't that many occasions otherwise in life that you actually get to like just go fucking bust a move, like literally.
No, it's
weddings,
true.
What else? Yeah. I mean, I guess you can do it alone in your home.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yeah,
but
it's not quite as fun.
Yeah. No, I need like the music blaring.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, I need the DJ to play a song I didn't know was going to speak to me in that moment.
No, literally.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also one of those things where like when I get home from like a night of dancing, I'm like, humans are meant to be dancing all the time. How fun is that?
Correct.
It is so fun.
It's incredibly mood boosting. Like
it's just like, it's intoxicating.
I know. I think, and it's so funny. Like growing up, I'm like, I used to be so shy and like stage fright. And now I'm
same.
I don't need who
cares?
I don't need a drink to dance. Like, yes, after a drink or two, it's like, I feel looser and it's more fun. But like, I'm like, I just need the music, like the beat. No, not to sound so cliche, and, but it's just
feel the rhythm.
It does something. Yeah, it's like who cares? I don't care what your moves are as long as you're having fun.
So true.
Yeah.
I will say it's been like fun to kind of go out here in comparison to like Madison. I feel like there are just more places to dance that aren't like full clubs.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, where you're not. It's either like. In Madison, it's either like club or it's touch tunes. So it's kind of nice to have something in between.
Yes. And where you're not like, so crowded, where because my ideal is like I need like a wingspan length. Like I can't be small when I'm dancing.
No.
The worst is like to be in a club where you're just like putting your fingers up, like bobbing your head, and I'm like, this.
That is classic, the fingers.
Yeah. It's really hard to be in that kind of space. As somebody who like needs
can't be contained.
No, cannot be contained. So I love when it's like not a totally full space.
Yeah.
And the music's good.
That's the best. And there are honestly so many good like DJs or like house music, things that I don't know as much about, but it's so fun to dance to that stuff. So I'm like, sure, maybe I'm going and I'm not going to like know every word to every song, but it's so fun.
Yeah. If it's music, we'll dance.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. I famously, when I keep saying famously, I think I picked that up from somebody. But when I studied abroad, I remember, like the week before, I was like, I'm going to listen to Chile Top 50 on Spotify just to really like understand like what I'm getting into and what they're listening to there. And I was like, whoa, I don't know if I like this. Like every song sounds the same. I don't really know if I like reggaeton. Came back 6 months later. Love it. Love reggaeton. Like love when it's on at the bars here.
Oh, same.
Know all the songs. And I'm like, no, these songs are so different now. And so I think it's like, I think I have yet to have that experience with like house and techno. I think I need to have that revolution. Because right now I'm still a little bit like, oh, it's fine. It's not my favorite.
Yeah.
But I like will always remember that story of like, no, I can change. We can change. Yeah.
Oh, you would love my coworker. He is, his DJ name is DJ VPS.
Okay.
Plug. And he is actually the first coworker that I met when I started at my new company and this was like 3 years ago now, but when I started, it was in the pandemic. So everyone was remote. And I was I don't think we took you there during our Madison trip, but it's called Rabinia Courtyard. It's like a little, it's like a restaurant, a bar, and a cafe. All of that kind of like share this space. And sometimes on the weekends, they'll have like DJ nights or, things that out on their patio because they have a really nice outdoor space. And they're having a DJ and it's like really fun. Everyone dances. And James and I went, and my coworker notoriously always wears like a bucket hat. Every meeting I've ever been on, he's been in a bucket hat. It's signature look.
Whoa.
And I see this little bucket hat like poking out over the DJ stand. And I was like, oh my God, like I think that that's Nate. And I went over and it was literally him. And he was like, I was like, can I hug you? It was like so crazy. And he was playing like reggaeton and like Afro beats and like, oh my God. And then I went to every DJ set he had in Madison. It was literally so fun.
That's amazing.
And he would like play, this might have been exclusive to like the venue, but he had like a projector with like the music videos playing in the background.
Fun.
It was so fun.
I feel like I've yet to find DJs, but I'll have nights in Chicago where I'm like, oh, this DJ is amazing. I love what they're doing. And it just can be so mood changing where you're like, totally. Really, the power of music.
I know. Crazy. And Chicago's a pretty good city for it. So we have to explore. Maybe we should try some new places.
I think we should. Winter bucket list. Get us out the house. Get us dancing.
Yeah.
I have this like coat that is actually a coat that I wear pretty much every day in the winter, but it's such a great coat for wearing out because I don't care about coat check and I'll just wrap it around my waist.
Smart.
Because I'm like, who cares?
That's smart. I've heard I need to get a throwaway coat.
Yeah.
Like in case I lose it.
I know, but it's like, and I guess mine is kind of a throwaway coat, but it's like, I'm always just going to wrap it around my waist no matter what. No matter what. But I don't know. Maybe I need to.
You have to do like Evan says,
tied over. Yeah. I have been starting to do that. Because I guess it's not cool to tie something around your waist.
Yeah. All the cool kids are doing shoulder.
Yeah, I guess so. But,
it's tough.
Yeah.
It really is. Well, I believe it was Owen who said we have to hit the clubs once a quarter. And I was like, that's reasonable.
Once a quarter. Yeah. And actually, that's kind of minimal. I can have a higher.
Yeah. I think he was also meaning like River North.
Okay, so I've never actually been to a Chicago club.
We went to one. We've only done it once. It was pretty fun, all things considered. We did have to like literally stay there all night because I actually forgot my ID. But the guy let me in.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Which was really nice, but then I couldn't leave. So we were there for like 4 hours. Well, because I couldn't have gotten in anywhere else.
Oh,
like I couldn't have bounced around.
See. Okay.
Yeah.
It would have been home or bust. Okay.
So I mean, it was like long. It was a long night, but it was really fun.
That's good.
There are like levels to those places. I mean, it's actually insane. I wouldn't say like the crowds are fun, but they play good music and the drinks are expensive, but they're delicious.
Okay. It's funny because I've like when I was younger, maybe like studying abroad, that was something that was like really appealing. Like I'm like, oh, I want to go to these like clubs with like 5 levels to them. That sounded so awesome. And here it's just not. I think mostly for the people, I'm like, oh, that's not.
No, not my crowd. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, who cares if I'm with my friends? Like, I'll dance once a quarter. Once a quarter.
It's a good limit, I think. But yeah, I mean, we go to like smaller places around here. Like you've been to like the Whistler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really fun.
So fun.
And like a good sized dance floor where it's like packed, but not, there's still room.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the night.
That's true. I feel like I went there once and it was because it was kind of small. But
yeah.
Yeah. There's something about
dancing.
Yeah.
It's the best. Okay, well, before we wrap up, I want to do Rose and a Thorn.
Oh, okay.
I try to do this thought exercise because obviously my podcast is pessimistic at best.
Right.
So, and I notoriously love to complain. I think I'm pretty good at it. But I think it's also good to like think about the good things too.
Yeah.
So we can do Rose and a Thorn of like the last week.
Of the last week. Okay. Yeah. Racking my brain. Like Rose is just okay because we're not doing Bud.
We can do Bud.
Okay.
I love Bud.
Oh, that's okay. Okay. Yeah. I'll limit to Rose and Thorn.
Okay.
Should I start?
I would love for you to start.
Okay. Thorn was, well, I was in New York this past weekend visiting a friend. So I would say the Thorn was
that terrible time.
It was just bad. No, it was great. But Thorn was accidentally staying up a little too late on Friday.
Totally.
And so just being kind of utterly sleep exhausted the whole weekend.
Yeah, that'll get you.
Yeah.
We're like at that big age now where I'm kind of like, oh, if I stay up all night, it really impacts me.
Yeah. And normally it was quite shocking because normally I can't, like I just in my Chicago life, like would not seem, it's like midnight and I'm like, all right. Bye.
Totally. You do kind of, you go home early. Not
do?
early,
okay.
but like I feel like you know and head out. I never do.
Okay. Well, I think it depends, but I think mostly it's like, I just am like, you know what? I think I want to have my Saturday.
Yeah.
But I love to just follow the night. But I think I have gotten a little too rational. I don't have that
forethought. So I'm kind of like, I stay till the bitter end.
Yeah. Until the bitter.
And then I suffer.
So that's kind of what happened on Friday. But we also kind of had a late dinner and then we were with friends and that was all great. And it just sort of happened to be like 3:30 and we were like, whoa, okay.
Totally. Yeah.
But the rose of it all was being in New York and seeing some college friends that I haven't seen in a while. Some good comedy. Ate a life-changing brownie.
Yum.
It was at this place which, if anybody listening goes to Brooklyn, it's called Dinner Party.
Okay.
It's like some friends. Okay, it reminded me of that next door dinner concept that we went to.
Yeah.
Except for these friends just like opened a restaurant, but they wanted more of like communal, like dining.
That's cool.
It's not like non-profit or anything, but so the whole point is like they have communal tables, although I found it kind of odd that they sat us, me and my friend went for brunch, which I think they're typical for dinner. Like they were sold out for dinner on the weekend.
Okay.
But they kept seating people at separate tables. And I was like,
isn't this the whole point?
Yeah, I thought if it's communal, even if like people have, I'm like, it's funny because you'd think, I understand their thought of like, well, okay, if people have the option, they want to sit separately, but as somebody who's opting into the communal experience, like we were kind of like waiting for,
I'm ready to have a conversation.
Yeah, I wish we said, especially like I was with my friend all weekend. Sometimes we feel like a married couple when we like eat out because we're just like silent because we're like, well, we just talked about everything together on the subway here.
Might as well focus on the food.
Yeah, exactly. So we were waiting for that. But anyway, the brownie was, oh gosh, it was
nothing like a good brownie.
Yeah. It set the standard. I don't know. It might have to be a minute before I have my next brownie.
That's so fair.
Yeah.
Because you can't really ruin that experience.
No.
And brownies are so specific. Are you like a corner person or a middle person?
100% middle.
Really? I
never understood corner people. Okay.
I love a little crunch. Or maybe crunch is the wrong word, but like.
Yeah, it's like, crunchy brownie.
Something structured. That's my favorite part.
That was I remember a friend's family had this like pan growing up where like it's only corner pieces. It's like shaped like a snake. Have you seen that?
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, I'd love that.
I'll get that for you for Christmas. But it makes only corner pieces. And I was like, I don't understand that. I'm like, I want a pan that's only middle.
See, the middle's like a little too gooey for me.
And I love, that's why this brownie was like it wasn't gooey as much as it was just like rich and creamy. It was just really divine.
Or would you say you're like chocolatey over like sugary sweet?
Yeah, except for kind of my favorite dessert is cheesecake. Oh. But I do love chocolatey. Oh,
I would put that in like the rich category though. Rich foods.
Oh yeah. It's wealthy.
I also love cheesecake. Yeah. So good.
It's so good.
Yeah, and there's so many different flavors. Incredible.
It's awesome. Whoever so maybe like rich.
Really is doing something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, I derailed us from your Rose and Thorn.
I love New York. I haven't been there very many times, but we like went to go visit James's brother.
Yeah, like recently, right?
In like early September. And that was my first time ever actually exploring Brooklyn, because the only other time I had been was when we moved him in, which was like 5 years ago, and he lived in Manhattan at the time.
Oh, what part of Brooklyn?
They are in Bushwick.
Okay.
So it was like so fun to explore. We were staying at this like pretty crazy little Airbnb in like a basement.
Nice.
Classic
New York. Yeah.
But yeah, some of the best food I've ever had. I mean, it was delicious. It was so fun.
It's I
didn't have the brownie, but I'll have to try that next time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think I'll start with my thorn. Thorn of this last week so far. Honestly, I think for me, work has been challenging recently. It's like contract re-sign season, and I am just like reaching that point of burnout where I'm like, so I can't get anything done. I'm like, it's time for the holidays, and this happens to me like every year. Unfortunately, of course, all the contracts get re-signed like in the new year. So I feel like we have the most work when you have like the least people and everyone's checked out. So that's been taxing. And I had like, and especially a couple of like bad days where I just was not getting my shit done, and like as a manager having to like kind of micromanage and get everyone else's shit done. Not fun. I just don't have it in me. So that was probably my thorn.
That's tough.
And then I would say Rose. I had my friend Jake over recently, just actually last night, and I haven't literally seen him since I think maybe like James's show in the summer. So it's been a really long time. Yeah. He used to be a coworker of mine, but it's been like a year since he worked at my company, and we had like a really nice little dinner, and it was just so good to catch up. And I feel like that's in the spirit of like kind of what we were talking about, just like having more one-on-one time with people. So I feel like winter is just the season to do that.
It is. 'Tis the season.
Literally.
Wow.
I'm excited.
I love that.
It's kind of nice to just like slow back down. I think normally I'm not excited for winter because it means like I don't see people as much, but now I'm kind of like, I think I'll see people just as much, but I'm ready to like stay inside and just hang and have it be low stakes.
Yes. And more like intentional.
Yeah.
Not that the summer wasn't, it was just, it felt more frantic. Yeah. And now it's like, it feels grounding in a different way.
Never so busy in my whole life, which was so fun, and I think I thrive on that. But I think after Halloween I like hit a little bit of a wall. I was like, I need to fucking relax.
It's a lot. But I will say on the days when I'm like, I'm just gonna let myself do nothing, it's like, it truly is one of those where it's like, the more you have to do, the more you get done. So it's like I get energized from being like as an extrovert too. It's like I go to thing after thing, and I'm like, this is so energetic to just like go. So that when I slow down, it's like I'm not doing anything, because it's just polar opposite. But finding a balance. Ultimately, it's all about balance.
So true. So hard to strike that balance, but
no,
we'll get there.
I've never found it. No, but I'm gonna keep searching for it,
and that's so important.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on this podcast.
Thanks for having me.
This is literally so fun. Also, you're really good at this, so you're not off the hook ever. You're coming
back
on
talking?
Soon. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God. Wait, tell that to my family. They need to hear that.
They need to hear it. Tell them to listen to the app.
Yeah, absolutely.
But amazing. Obviously, we're gonna do this again soon. It was also a pleasure to have you over for dinner.
Oh my gosh, thank you. And that was so delicious. Your chef is awesome.
He's in-house.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Oh my God. I need to get that. I'm being slow.
Borrow him anytime. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, he's for free too. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Wait, that's even better.
But thank you guys for listening, and I will talk with you all again next week. Bye.